How many times did you just push that button?
I pushed the button like
19 times.
75 times.
Yeah, 19 times.
This day. It's Colin.
What's up, this Roy?
All right. Roy's been excited about this for a minute. Keeps on trying to get me to get down here. It's been my fault. I apologize. We're about to get it. Roy, Super Saiyan.
About to blow with this, man.
We are about to, well, I'm going to co-sign. He is about to give us a little insight on why we need to embrace our vulnerability.
That's
It's
right.
going to be hard to transcend without it, isn't it?
It's hard to do. It's impossible to do. That's why this is important, I think. That's why I was excited to talk about it. And as soon as I said to Colin, man, I want to talk about vulnerability, he was like, awesome, let's do it.
Exactly. I can't wait to hear what he's got for us.
It's huge in this health and wellness game, you know. I mean, and it's something that I think either it's if you don't embrace it, it's something that will halt you or cause you to fail, or succeed in this, I guess.
Absolutely.
Quote unquote, fail, succeed, if there is such a thing. And something that I've grown to love, I didn't love it first, about this health and wellness journey is how all-encompassing it is. The very nature of your spiritual, mental, and physical health is, it's all-encompassing. It trickles into like water, into every aspect of your life.
Absolutely.
And anytime that happens, it's going to expose you. This game is going to expose you. It's going to show all your weaknesses. It's going to show all of your shortcomings, your addictions, your flaws.
It's a good thing.
And this is a good thing. But it's also a very hard thing. It's a very scary thing because you become vulnerable. And being vulnerable is very scary. It's not a comfortable feeling.
That's the point.
And that's what happens. If getting a gym membership is intimidating. If you've been sitting on the couch for 2 decades, playing video games, you're going to be bad in there, or you're going to feel like you're bad in there. It's a very intimidating thing. It's hard to give up sodas. There's not only physical addictive properties to that, but there's psychological addictive properties to that.
They're delicious.
They're delicious. It's hard to give up. You've been doing it every day.
Since we were kids.
That's right. It's hard to commit to a personal development book that is going to show you all your flaws. It's hard to go from these places of comfort to these places of discomfort. That's very scary.
Absolutely.
But for me, and for Colin, and for a lot of you, I'm sure, it's even more scary to be one of those cold, empty souls that never knows personal defeat or personal victory.
Right.
And I'm talking about personal victory and defeat. I'm not talking about the conquest of someone else. I'm talking about your own internal, victories and wins and losses. In the gym and in your mental development and all these different things, in your diet, where you fail and then you overcome.
That's what we mean by transcending.
Trying to transcend, trying to overcome, surpass, what you did last time. And it's very, very hard and it's very tricky to be vulnerable. Being vulnerable is showing up and letting yourself be seen. Okay? Well, it wasn't that long ago that something that helped me. I read a book not too long ago, and in the preface of the book, there was a quote. And as soon as I read that quote, I was like, wow, I've got to write that down. So, I immediately went and got a pad and paper, and I copied it down so I could put it on my refrigerator. I wanted to be able to read it every day.
What was it, Roy?
At least every morning. And the thing about it was that wasn't even enough for me to just read it every day. I had to memorize it because I wanted to be able to say it, to be able to understand it. And the quote was from a speech that Theodore Roosevelt gave in 1910.
Oh, okay.
In Paris, France. And what that quote said, and I love this, it changed my life. It says, it's not the critic that counts. It's not the man who points out how the strong man stumbles or where the doer of deeds could have done them better. The credit actually belongs to the man who's actually in the arena, whose face is marred by dust and sweat and blood, who strives valiantly, who errs, who comes up short again and again. Because there can be no effort without error and shortcomings. But who does strive to do the deeds? Who knows great enthusiasms, the great devotions? Who spends himself in a worthy cause? Who at best in the end knows the triumph of high achievement? And who at worst, if he fails, at least fails while daring greatly.
Bam.
And I was like,
bam.
Man, just something about that just changed my whole life. And that's what I'm trying to say about this vulnerability. that to show up, to let yourself be seen, and to be judged, to be in the arena, is to be vulnerable. But vulnerability is the birthplace of enlightenment. It's the birthplace of transcendence. It's the birthplace of love. You know, you're not going to get anywhere without it. So embrace it. See it as something beautiful. When I see those people in the gym that are struggling, that are crying, they're falling apart, that are, you know, and then they get up.
It's embracing.
Man, you're watching enlightenment. Man, those are the most beautiful moments.
You can't stop me. It's only going to make me stronger.
Yeah, don't short yourself of those moments. To get those moments, you have to be vulnerable. You have to show up and be seen. So I hope that helps you somehow, you know, to see yourself, to embrace this vulnerability thing, because you got to have that to reach transcendence, to reach enlightenment. Don't you think?
Man, if I don't embrace the vulnerable moments, if I don't accept the fact that it's me, if I don't accept the fact that this thing that seems like it's uncomfortable is the point, I'm going to stand still. I'm going to be in a time capsule. I'm going to be the same. I'm going to be at the same level when you dig me up. But I keep the dust off every time I embrace that vulnerability. I keep it off. Mm-hmm. And now, doesn't mean I'm going to transcend, but I have the opportunity to transcend.
That's right.
This whole thing that we do right here on this, I'm not trying to sound selfish, but it's for me. It's for Roy. It's for us. It's our painting, and we're just sharing it.
And we're hoping you take it and make it better.
If we get one like, or one person gets one thing out of this and it helps them to take one step forward, that's a win.
That's right.
But if nobody at all gets anything from it, I got to express myself. He got to express himself. We got to express ourselves.
We shared something important to us that we find valuable.
And we thank you. Mm-hmm. I mean, we're not trying to put out anything that's going to harm you. We're going to put out things that we feel are going to help you to move forward.
And try to remember, something else I want you to understand is this is an exercise in vulnerability.
Yes,
we're putting ourselves out there.
One thumb down.
Yeah.
No!
We're putting ourselves out there. You know, we're in the arena. That's what we're doing right now. You know, we're putting ourselves out there to be seen, to be judged.
Without this vulnerability, I wouldn't have the opportunity to transcend because of this.
Right.
You know, I'd be standing still. I'd be in my time capsule. I'd be covered up with more and more dirt. So thank you for helping me with one of my vulnerabilities.
Exactly.
What about you, Rob?
I mean, this. I've grown tremendously since we started doing this.
I mean, this is a blessing. Thank you guys for allowing us to do it. What I'd like to say right here is thank you for subscribing. Please like it and share it.
That's right. That's it. Subscribe, like, and share if you want to see more videos like this.
15, baby.